Hi, welcome back to the BMW M3 from Ann Arbor Series. Today we're going to be installing an ECS Carbon Fiber trunk spoiler onto our F80 M3. This is manufacturing part number 024941 ECS03. We've also got some rubbing alcohol and a microfiber cloth. Our heat gun, it is about 75 degrees Fahrenheit today, but just in case, we have a little bit of extra double-sided 3M tape. We also have some fishing string because we'll be removing the OEM Alpine White 3 rear spoiler, and we'll need the fishing line in order to get the tape off. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and clean up our spoiler using some of the rubbing alcohol to get any of the manufacturing dust and residue off, and then we'll go ahead and get to putting on some additional 3M tape for the adhesion strength, and then we'll go ahead and remove our original OEM white rear deck lid spoiler. With that, let's get started. All right, let's go ahead and clean up our spoiler with some rubbing alcohol, ensuring that we get all the dirt and residue off on the bottom side, and just make it a little clean up top before we go for the installation. And ECS already included some double-sided tape, but we're going to put a little bit more on just to ensure that it adheres to the trunk well. All right, we'll just make sure we got it all. Give that a second to dry, and then we'll apply our new tape. And we'll just use the dry side, making sure that the alcohol is evaporated. All right, looks like we've sufficiently covered it. We'll just press down all our tape, make sure that's nice, secure, which will give us a good fit. on the trunk. Next, what we'll do is we'll remove our old spoiler. All right, and now that we're behind the car, we're going to go ahead and use our heat gun in order to soften the adhesive on the existing lip spoiler, and then we're going to take some fishing line and remove it. So despite it being about 75 degrees Fahrenheit here today, still want to be able to ensure that most of the tape comes off as we use our fish line in order to separate the old tape off the trunk lid and leave as little as possible. So let's go ahead and get started by heating it up. Nice and warm to the touch. All right, let's get our fish string. And once we're about halfway, we'll just go ahead and start down the other side. We'll do a little bit more heat. All right, and there we are. We're all the way through. We should be able to gently pry up. Might need a little bit more work on this side. All right, and that is our OEM deck lid spoiler off. We'll put that somewhere safe. All right, and now we are going to have to clean this tape off. The easiest thing to do is to gently roll it with your fingers in order to sort of limit the damage to your paint. All right, so the tape removal process is going incredibly slowly. It took me about 10 minutes in order to get 2 inches off. So did some research and looks like we're going to be using a 3M adhesive eraser wheel, which is a rubber wheel that goes on to your standard household drill. We've got that hooked up here, and what we're going to do is see if this accelerates the process without damaging the paint, but removes the tape in a timely fashion. So based on the research, it seems like if you can use the edge, it might lift the tape. So we're going to go ahead and try it out in a little spot, make sure that it works, and then move forward. So our little test area, no damage to the paint, everything looks good. We're going to continue with this. Making much better time than we were before. We'll go ahead and just clean up a couple spots. right, and with the big stuff mostly gone, we're going to go ahead and clean this up. Just get the last little bits of adhesive off. We'll clean the surface, and then we'll get ready to install our new spoiler. .50 all-purpose cleaner just to get some of the dirt and grime out, and then we'll go ahead and use some isopropyl alcohol as well. And a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. See if we can't get the last of this adhesive off. Even though no one's going to see this, just want to have a really good surface for our new tape. All right, looks really good now. What took me 10 minutes with my hands took me 10 minutes to remove the rest of it with the 3M adhesive remover. Would definitely recommend that if you're ever doing this job. All right, we're going to go ahead and just give us a little 50/50 all-purpose cleaner. Do a final clean here on the surface before we go to mount our spoiler.
Go to the top and bottom, that's where we'll be fixing it, and then pass around with some isopropyl alcohol, and then we can get our spoiler fitted. This will get all the dirt and grime off. All right.
And we'll let that dry while we mock mount our spoiler. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to mark the position that we like using some painter's tape. This will ensure that when we go to take off the adhesive, the double-sided, we'll line this back up. We're also going to put just a little bit of double-sided tape underneath the edges, because when we go to flip this up, we just don't want the carbon fiber scratching the paint. And one in the middle for good measure. All right, and we'll just go ahead and make this one a little looser. It's a good fit. Make sure that that worked. All right, we got one chance at this. Just making sure everything's still lined up. I think I might just move it over slightly. All right, let's go ahead and pull off our adhesive. The last time we did this, we used a razor blade, so we might just use another one to get all the edges started, as this stuff is really tacky. All right, and because we did touch the car quite a bit, just going to rub it down with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol exactly where we're going to stick it, just to make sure that it's clean. We'll let that dry. Once that's dry, we'll go ahead and get this down. All right, and we'll gently apply some pressure. All right, and once we've really gone around and made sure that all of our mating surfaces are together, we're going to go ahead and remove our blue tape and get a first look at what the spoiler looks like on the trunk. All right, much more aggressive than the OEM deck lid spoiler. So with that, we're finished for today. Thanks for watching the BMW M3 from Ann Arbor Series. Stay tuned for more episodes and other upgrades.